Assalamualaikum and very good day to everyone. Today, I will be presenting about the One Malaysia Development Berhad, also known as 1MDB, focusing on its background and the timeline of the event that led to the one of the biggest financial scandal in Malaysia and the world. For introduction, 1MDB was established in 2009 by the Malaysian government as a sovereign wealth fund. Originally, it was known as the Terengganu Investment Authority before the federal government took over and renamed it to 1MDB. The main purpose of 1MDB was to promote long-term economic development. The fund focused on foreign investment, infrastructure projects, and real estate development. Some key figures involved in 1MDB is Najib Razak, who was the Prime Minister and Chairman of the Advisory Board; Joe Low, who acted as an informal advisor with major influence; Shahrul Azral, the first CEO; and Arul Kande, who later took over when issues started to arise. At first, 1MDB was praised for its ambitious project. However, later concern grew due to high debt level and lack of transparency in how money was being managed. For the timeline, in 2009, 1MDB was officially formed with the image of helping Malaysia grow economically through strategic investment. This was seen as a promising initiative at the beginning. From 2010 until 2012, 1MDB launched large and expensive projects such as Bandar Malaysia, Tun Razak Exchange, which is TRX, and the purchase of power assets. However, to finance this project, 1MDB borrowed a huge amount of money, increasing the fund debt to almost 40 billion ringgit. During this time, money also began moving through offshore companies and unknown accounts, creating early signs of financial irregularities. Between 2013 and 2014, leaked document was whistleblowers revealed possible misuse of funds. Money from 1MDB was reportedly spent on luxury properties, expensive art, jewelry, and even to the fun Hollywood movie The Wolf of Wall Street. This raised the question about how public funds were being used. In 2015, the Wall Street Journal and the Sarawak Report reported that $618 million had been transferred into account linked to Najib Razak. This causes major public outrage in Malaysia and demands for transparency. The government initially denied wrongdoing, calling it a political donation. In 2016, the United States Department of Justice described 1MDB as the world's largest kleptocracy case. Multiple countries like Singapore, Switzerland, and Luxembourg began investigating money laundering involving 1MDB. Many luxury assets linked to stolen funds were seized. In 2018, the 1MDB scandal became a major issue in Malaysia's 14th general election. This led to a change of government up to 61 years. Investigations were reopened and Najib Razak was charged and later convicted. Today, Malaysia continues to work with international authorities to recover the stolen money, and legal cases are still ongoing. So, 1MDB shows how a fund meant to help national development can turn into a major corruption scandal when there is a weak government and lack of accountability. It is a strong reminder of the importance of transparency, integrity, and responsible leadership in managing public money. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and good day to everyone. So right now I will be presenting nature of corruption. The 1MDB scandal revealed how corruption occurs on a national and global scales. Billions were stolen through a network of political athletes and international financiers. It shows how weak governance and concentrate power allow such crime to happen. The corruption can be categorized into four main types: embezzlement, money laundering, abuse of political powers, and institutional corruption. Together, these form a complete system of organized financial crimes. At the heart of the scandals was the embezzlement. Funds meant for the public infrastructure were secretly transferred to a personal accounts. The USA Department of Justice found that over 4.5 billion USD stolen between 2009 and 2014. To hide the stolen funds, the culprit used a complex international laundering network. The money was moved to banks and shell companies across multiple countries and used to buy luxury assets, including a Hollywood film, The Wolf of Wall Street. The 1MDB scandals also reflect abuse of political power. Najib Razak used his authority to control decision and suppress investigation. Officials who questioned 1MDB were dismissed and the media was restricted from reporting freely. System corruption occurs when entire institution from auditors to regulators fail due to political pressure or manipulation. This shows how corruption were abandoned within Malaysia's governance systems. Moving on to the next part, which is modus operandi. The first step was raising funds through government bonds. 1MDB works with major banks claiming the money was for national projects. However, the process involved hidden fees and insider manipulation to divert money early on. The early stage involved creating shell companies in financial havens like the British Virgin Islands. This company existed only on papers, helping hide the stolen funds and confuse investigators. The layering stage was designed to make tracing impossible. Funds were moved across countries under fake labels like consultancy or investment returns. Eventually, the money appeared clean and legitimate. Once cleansed, the money was reinvested into real assets and companies, effectively blending illegal money with legitimate businesses. This final stage made the corruption nearly invisible. Corruption thrived because of poor governance. Internal auditors were silenced or replaced. Investigations were blocked, and those who spoke up were punished. This shows how weak institutional integrity enabled corruption. When scandal began to resurface, authorities tried to hide it by removing investigators and censoring the media. However, international investigation eventually revealed the full extent of the corruption. And that's all for me. Thank you.
I will move on to key individuals and entities involved in Ukraine corruption. So, for first is the political core. It's about a high-ranking official and a political leader who abuse power to create corrupt opportunities. They steer public funds through inflate contract or favorable law in exchange for bribes and kickback, and ensure impunity by controlling state institutions. So, second is about domestic facilitator, which means a laundering machine. So, oligarchs and businesses with political ties who receive the seed funds via contract. Domestic bank, especially states, facilitate the initial movement of money, providing the first layer of concealment. So next is a professional enablers. It's a pick views. So it's about a lawyer, accountant, and other expert who create complex legal structure. For example, shell company trust to hide the money origin and break the link to the corrupt politician. Next is about the international terminus. This is about the financial havens. It's about the global banks, financial firm, and a luxury asset market that real estate, art, and others. It's a that often through weak control integrate the illicit wealth into the legitimate global economy, allowing it to be safely stored and enjoyed. So for the overall, it's about the grand corruption is a symbiotic ecosystem where each group depends on the others. Combating it requires breaking the change at every step through stronger regulation, transparency, and increase ability for all enablers. So next I will move on to the impact of the 1MDB scandal on Malaysia economy. So firstly, we have a direct fiscal hit. So the scandal directly added billions in debt to the national budget as the government was forced to bail out 1MDB. This increased the country debt to GDP ratio and used taxpayer money that could have been spent on public service. So next is about the crisis of confidence. The scandal severely damaged Malaysia's reputation, making foreign investors wary due to perceived high political risk, weak governance, and poor rule of law. This led to a decline in foreign direct investment (FOI). Next is about the currency and market volatility. The loss of investor confidence triggers capital outflow, causing the Malaysian ringgit to depreciate significantly. This made imports more expensive for citizens and increased the cost of repaying foreign debt. And then the last is about the opportunity cost. The evidence were funds that were no longer available for national development project, infrastructure, and public service. The scandal also created public distrust, making it harder for the government to implement future projects effectively. Pass this next slide to others.
Good day everyone. So now I will present my part in this 1MDB cases scandal. So I will start with the impact on society and governance. So the first impact on society is loss of public trust. This is because citizens feel betrayed as a development fund has turned into a corruption channel. Second is the public anger and online backlashes. Citizens has expressed frustration, criticized leadership, and doubt accountability. It also exposed the institutional weakness and lack of consequences of the development fund. Lastly, the economic and reputation damage. These cases has reduced investor confidence, higher borrowing cost of the country, and loss of development fund. It also harmed Malaysia's international image and national pride in overseas. Next, impact on governance. First is governance failure. Weak corporate governance, poor board oversight, and excessive execution control. MDB board ignored procedures such as major financial decisions made without analysis. They didn't check and they did the financial decision. Second is institutional independence erosion. The political influence compromised MACC or SPRM, central bank, and auditing bodies. Investigations were delayed, which caused the corruption to occur over time. And then we have decline in governance standard. Malaysia dropped in Asia Pacific corporate governance ranking. So because the drops happened, it also damaged the investors' confidence and national fiscal reputation. Investors has less confidence to invest in Malaysia because of this corruption. Finally, the reforms and lesson we can learn. Malaysia has reformed National Financial Crime Centre (NFCC) and Act of 822 in the year 2020. Efforts to improve political funding, transparency, and whistleblower protection for the future. Now, I will go with investigation and legal actions. First, we go with 1MDB domestic and international investigation. In domestic investigation in Malaysia, it was led by Malaysian Anti-Corruption Committee (MACC) or SPRM, also Malaysian Police and Attorney General Chambers. It was traced all the misappropriated funds entering former Prime Minister Najib Razak's personal accounts. MACC and related agencies filed civil recovery suit by the year 2019. Then, for the international investigation and cooperation, the investigation was involved by US Department of Justice, Singapore, Switzerland, and other countries. The US Department of Justice has recovered $1.4 billion by 2024 and also $20 million by 2025 under Kleptocracy Initiative. Also, the key financier known as Joe Law remains under investigation despite the civil settlement. Lastly, the Swiss court convicted two individuals with $240 million in assets forfeited. Next, the legal actions and court cases. First, the major legal outcomes. Goldman Sachs paid $3.9 billion to Malaysia and JP Morgan has agreed to pay $330 million to settle related claims. Also, the former Prime Minister Najib Razak was convicted and jailed for corruption and money laundering. Second is asset forfeiture and recovery. Department of Justice civil suit targeted luxury assets such as art and real estate in Singapore, Hong Kong, and Switzerland. Assets linked to Jolo Global Network was also seized. Finally, the significance by the legal action. It demonstrates accountability and enforcement of financial responsibility. And lastly, it strengthens the international cooperation in asset recovery and anti-corruption governments for the future. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad Anisan bin Atam Malik. My entry number is BBA F2408672. So I'm here to talk about governments and institutional reforms. Okay, what Malaysian government did after the 1MDB scandals. So first, Malaysian government launched a major reform to restore integrity, trust and accountability. Okay, on that process, the key initiative of what Malaysian government did is come up with the MACC Act Section 17A 2020, corporate liability for corruption, promotes anti-bribery controls. For the second point, National Anti-Corruption Plan NACP 2019 to 2023, which gonna strengthen the transparency and then governance. For the third point, empowered oversight bodies like such as B&M, Auditor Generals, and then BAC for independent audits. For the fourth point, ended political appointment in GLCs to ensure professional management. Okay, next is Import Whistleblower Protection Act 2010 for stronger safeguards. Next is collaborate with UNODC and then OECD to recover 1MDB funds and align with global standards. So basically, after all of this happened, what is the outcome is reinforced institutional independence and then restore public confidence in government. Okay, next is I'm going to talk about lesson learned and recommendation. Okay, the key lesson here: lack of transparency and weak oversight allow massive corruption. And then strong corporate governance and ethical leadership are essential. Whistleblower and journalists play a vital role in exposing wrongdoing. And then our recommendation is enhance whistleblower protection and media freedom. And then introduce integrity and ethics training in public and private sectors such as IIM or MACC. And then maintain separation of politicals and then finance in GLC and public funds. Use digital tools like blockchain, real-time audits to detect any irregularities. And then lastly, strengthen global cooperation to trace and recover legit funds. Okay, what we can conclude from here is sustained vigilance, integrity and accountability are crucial for preventing future scandals and then ensuring good governance. Thank you.